Hello everybody, this is Howard, the Teaser King, coming to you with week 7 of the NFL. Pretty good week. I have 2 in here and I could have 4. If the spread moves, it dictates a game that I play or don't play, or don't lock or lock, so it's a lot of dependent on the spread. The lock I have, I would definitely play now to keep the spread before it jumps too much and gets into an unfavorable teaser situation. For example, if there's an 8-point spread, you want to cut it to 2 before it gets to 9 or 9.5, then you're laying 3 or 3.5. It's not as good of a bet. So part of the reason it's a lock, or I lock games, is it's at 8 and I cut it under 3. But if it's at 10 down to 4, I still like the team, but I don't want to lock it because in the NFL it's too easy to win by 3 and you're screwed. So definitely don't want to, you want to lock depending on the spreads. So as you watch the movements also, and I might lock a game on Thursday or Friday, and then the spread takes it over, but I've already locked it, I've already played it. So I'm looking each day at the spreads, and if the spread jumps, I'll watch the spread go from 9 to 7 and back to 9. Well, when it's 7, I'm locking it. When it goes back to 9, I've already got my bet in, so I'm already set. So that's what I'm looking for sometime to make a play, would be watching the line movements. And definitely need to watch it. We had Pittsburgh go from a 3-point favorite to a 3-point dog because Landry Jones quarterbacking. I'm not sure that it really matters with Pittsburgh, because they're going to run Le'Veon Bell and play defense like they did to Arizona last week. So, I just look at it like that. I don't think one player, maybe if Peyton Manning doesn't play and the backup who's nobody plays, you can see with Arizona, when Carson Palmer went down, the lack of productivity they got from their quarterback. So yeah, it does matter. Roethlisberger's obviously a lot better than Landry Jones, but I'm just saying in this game I don't know if it'll matter. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's give a few spreads here. Buffalo laying 4 or 4.5 to Jacksonville in London. I'm going to give you a trend here. If you bet against Jacksonville as a road dog, and they are a road dog, it's on the road, it's in London. They're 17-4 the last 21 where they've been road dogs, and it goes back about 3 years. 23-6 if you go back, I believe, 5 years. Jacksonville is a terrible road dog. I even believe it's 12 or 13-0. Excuse me, the last 2 or 3 years. So Jacksonville crumbles on the road. Buffalo, I don't think it matters who's the quarterback. Even with Tyrod Taylor in there, I don't think it's much of a drop off to E.J. Manuel. I think they both stink, but they both kind of run the ball. So Taylor was more running the ball and doing some passing. Manuel, I think they both are not NFL quarterbacks, but I don't think it matters here. I think Buffalo wins with defense and running the ball. So take Buffalo plus the 2 here. Miami laying 4.5 to Houston. I like Houston in the points. Houston's a lousy road dog. Miami's a lousy home favorite. So Miami play against as a home favorite 13-4. Houston play against road dog 13-3. So pick your poison. So this will mean it'll be a close game, and if you bet against either team, you'll win. So this is one of these, just play a teaser. I like Houston in the points. I think their offense actually seems to be better than Miami's. Granted, Miami's got a new coach. That's fine. Still same players. Still got Tannehill. Houston, I don't know who their quarterback is. I mean, they're not NFL quarterbacks, neither team. Defenses J.J. Watt should play are probably pretty even. I just like the points. I don't, Miami's really not capable of beating anybody. Maybe, they even lost to Jacksonville, so that proves my point there. So take the dog in this game. Detroit, Minnesota. Minnesota was a 2.5 point favorite, 3-point favorite. It's down to 1.5. Oh, please, excuse me, I apologize. It's down to 1.5. The more it goes toward Detroit, the more I like Minnesota. I didn't like Minnesota that much at 2.5. At 1.5, I can grab Minnesota, and 4.5, I'm starting to like it. If Detroit goes favorite, it's a lock. So if Detroit goes -1, pound Minnesota +7, really strong. Right now, I think I'm going to play Minnesota plus the 4.5. If I can keep it at 1.5 or 1 or 1/2, or if it jumps to even, I'm taking Minnesota. Now here's the trend on the game, head to head. Minnesota versus Detroit. Minnesota's 10-1, the last 11. Minnesota and the dog are 10-0 in Detroit, the last 10 games. Minnesota's 19-2 in the series, the last 21 games. And the dog is 14-1. It was 14-0 till the Lions lost at Minnesota in week 2. So I had the dog there. Now I'm leaning towards Minnesota at 19-2. The Lions, here's how I look at the Lions. They had to win the last game against the Bears. It was an easy team, the Bears, not much defense. Their offense is Lions lost their first 5, had to win the game. And they're down 14 points, turning the ball over. They finally tied up at the end. They give up 3 pass interference calls to the Bears for a field goal to put it to overtime, and the Lions somehow win in overtime. Well, if they can't beat the Bears, okay, if they take the Bears to over, and they were losing in the game, they had to score late to take the 3-point lead. If that's the case, Minnesota's going to kill them. Minnesota owns Detroit virtually. With Teddy Bridgewater, they had trouble with the first game. Adrian Peterson, good luck stopping him. The Lions' defense is not what it was last year. Without Sue, a lot of injuries. Their secondary is terrible. They're not running the ball on offense. Stafford's going to have he's going to get sacked 5 times in this game. Also, another note is Detroit is a home dog. If you play against Detroit as a home dog, it's 7-0 the last few years. They've been a home favorite lately, but again, against Denver, they were a home dog and lost. And last year, they were a home dog a couple times. And this goes back about 3 years. But basically, when they're at home and they play a better team, they lose. When they're on the road and they play a better team, they lose. The only teams they beat are the weaker teams. That's why the Lions won 11 games last year, because they played weaker teams. Then they make the playoffs and they play the hard teams, and you can see they get killed by Arizona. They should have got killed by Seattle. They lose to Denver at home. They lose to Minnesota. They barely beat the Bears at home. They got 2 Green Bays to play, and here's the other Minnesota. Good luck there. So basically, I just think Minnesota's quite the better team. They're 19-2 in the series. So just when Minnie plays Detroit, Minnie's 19-2. The dog is 14-1, but I think Minnie at 19-2 is better. If Minnie turns dog, it's a lock, because then you have Minnie and the dog. And Minnie and the dog are 10-0 the last 10 in Detroit. And what that means is if you took Minnie or if you took the dog, a lot of times Minnie was the dog. So sometimes the trend changes where here Minnie's actually the favorite in this game. So it wasn't like Detroit was a strong dog in it. It was Minnie and the dog. So take Minnie plus the 4.5 there. Definitely like that. Oakland, San Diego. San Diego laying 4.5. The trend in this one is Oakland and the dog are 6-1 the last 7 in San Diego. Oakland's 11-1 as the dog, and the dog is 10-0 in the series, and I think 13-1 in the series. So you have a dog series, which means the underdog generally is the play. And Oakland's been a live dog. They played Denver very tough, not letting Manning score a touchdown. San Diego a little banged up. They had trouble scoring in the red zone against Green Bay. That was my lock last week, was the San Diego Green Bay over. I cut 50 down to 44, and it really shouldn't have been. I mean, we made it at 47, but it shouldn't have been that close because San Diego had the ball in the red zone 3 times and didn't do anything. The guy went for it on 4th down and at 10 instead of kicking a field goal. And it was, you know, at the end of the game they had the ball at the 5-yard line. So easily could have had another 10, 17 points there. But here I like Oakland plus the 10. San Diego, they're not that bad of a team. They've had a tough schedule here. And this is what you got to look at. Like when you look at Detroit at 1-5, you look at the schedule. I took Seattle last night, and part of the reason was when you looked at who they lost to. They had lost to Green Bay, undefeated, Cincinnati undefeated, and Carolina undefeated, and they blew 17-point leads against Cincinnati and a 14-point lead or 13-point lead against Carolina. So they're losing to undefeated teams, and then, you know, so Green Bay, Carolina, so here's Frisco, boom. But that's my point. Yeah, look at who they're losing to. Detroit's losing to, you know, these strong teams. Oakland played Denver very tough. San Diego's had a tough schedule here. Green Bay, I can't remember all their games off the top of my head, and they finally got Gates back. But this is a strong underdog play, so take Oakland plus the 10. Indy Lane 4.5 to New Orleans. I like Indy in this play. New Orleans is a play against road dog is 15-2. The last 17 times they've been a road dog, you bet against them, you're 15-2. It's probably like 90%. Indy at home is good. Luck's back. Really, I just am more or less betting against New Orleans on the road here, but with Luck back, I think Indy wins at home. Indy usually plays good as a home favorite. Let's see if I have any type of trend on them. No, nothing major, but they're good they're good at home, and New Orleans is just lousy on the road. Game probably could go over. It's 52. I'm researching over-unders like I'm doing in college for the pros. I actually was pretty strong last week. I didn't play any. I played the one with my lock, the Green Bay San Diego one, but I don't want to rush into it. It seems they're all in the 40s. I'm laughing. 42, 42, 42, 44, 42s, 44s, a few 48s, and then the Indy game's 52. So it just shows you where the over is. And basically, it's just the quarterbacks. I mean, you got good quarterbacks, weak defenses. This game should go over also. And that's about it. Probably like Pitt is the dog, just because I just don't think Kansas City's all that strong. Another one, St. Louis, Cleveland. I don't think St. Louis is that strong to be 7-point favorites. I like Cleveland in 12 there. I mean, Cleveland's, you know, they're a weak road dog. St. Louis is a weak home favorite. So it's just tough. But Cleveland played Denver tough. They won at Baltimore. So they've been playing well. I don't see them getting blown out here. St. Louis is a weak offense. Weak offensive team, and that's what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna probably have 3, possibly 4 locks. If Minnesota goes dog, that'll be one of the locks. But I have 3 others that I will be locking. I already locked one with my strong college plays that I wanted to get in. That's about it. So I'm going to play like 6 or 7 pro games. You can buy my locks, and then you'd get the strong locks plus the college locks. The college locks are going tomorrow. I didn't lock anything Thursday or Friday. I did hit Memphis today. Real good team. I love those college games. They go to 100 points. You just bet over when you got two over teams playing, like Tulsa, SMU are over teams, and Bowling Green and Memphis, and uh, what's the other? Western Kentucky. I mean, it's like a dream. Those teams are just pound you. Um, and that's about it for the NFL. The hottest teams would be Denver. Is really the hottest team in Green Bay. Carolina and Cincinnati are undefeated undefeated this year in a teaser line, and I believe New England is also. Teams to bet against: Tennessee, Jacksonville, Washington, Tampa Bay, and Chicago are huge. Tennessee, Jacksonville, I think Tampa Bay and Washington are almost 90% bet against, and then Chicago's in the mid 80s. Meaning that, you know, who's Tennessee playing? Who's Jacksonville? Jacksonville's playing Buffalo. Just play Buffalo because Jacksonville, they're 90% against, and they're a terrible road dog. And I think Buffalo's got the better team, the better defense, the better coach. I'm not a big Bortles fan, but that's the idea of it. So you bet the Buffalo. Tennessee's playing Atlanta. You bet Atlanta. Unfortunately, Washington's playing Tampa. I just laugh at that game. It's like two college teams. I don't even know if they could beat college teams. They're just pathetic. I'd love to see Baylor play like Tampa Bay. They'd probably put up 60 on them. It's just funny. Anyway, buy the locks. You can buy the pros, www.teaserking.com. I want to offer a new thing. If you want to play like a parlay or a teaser, a multiple team, I will not charge you and then only take a percentage of the winnings. I'm doing that with a couple of customers right now. We hit a 5-team parlay last week, and I get a percentage of the winnings. If we lose, we lose. He doesn't pay me anything. If we win, I do get 25%. So if you prefer to do that and possibly say, you know what, I don't want to buy your picks, but if you give me the parlay, or you give me this teaser, this multiple team, then I will pay you, the percentage of what I win. That way, if I lose, you don't owe me anything, and if you win, I won you all this money, then you just give me a percentage. So you can hit me up if you're interested in that. I think it's a neat thing. I pick so many games anyway. I do find the parlays work better in college, because a lot of times in college, what you're looking at is, like today, Memphis beats Tulsa by 30 points or 20 points or something. So you win with the teaser. It was an easy win with the teaser. But straight laying the 10, it's an easy win. Laying the 4, it's even easier. So I think the parlays work better in college. And the pros, I would not recommend parlays. You need teasers most of the time in pros. It's really tough. What do you do? The Minnesota's laying 2 to Detroit. What do you do with that game? Take Detroit. It goes down to the wire. Somebody wins with a field goal. But if you have Minnesota at 4.5 and you go to overtime, or it's close to the end, which it should be, then you got, they win by 3. Somebody wins by 3, Detroit wins by 3, and you're laying 2. Well, wait, you could have won, teaching it to 4. It's just in the pros. It's just way too difficult, I think, to hit a parlay as much as it is to hit a multi-team teaser. I've hit multi-team teasers a lot in the pros, and like I said, we hit a parlay last week in college, and I really think we got great odds on it, and I think it's a very strong play in college. So anybody wanting to do that, please hit me up here. Go to the site, www.teaserking.com, and you'll get my email and say, hey Howard, why don't we do this? And I'll tell you the percentage that I've agreed to, and I'll hit you. We're doing 5-team parlays. We can do as much as you want. you get great odds, and you know, we can win a lot of money, and you just pay me a percentage of it. And you know, so if we lose, you don't pay me anything. But like I said, we hit one last week. It was huge. So you can see how I pick. I got the 17 teaser out there. I apologize with Georgia Southern, but the others are still live. And if you look at my college picks, they're still out there. So you could still play the Saturday. You can still play the Saturday remainder of the 17 teaser with what I gave you on the Saturday games. If you want, you could buy my locks, which are tomorrow and Sunday. Play them in a 4 or 5 team teaser or a 4 or 5 team parlay right there. So anyway, so that's how you can get a good 17, 16 teasers, playing the locks, and then I can give you the other 2 games, or I've given them to you, and just look at the 17 teaser. They're all real strong plays, so you just choose what's left. That's what I would advise. So we'll go from there. I like putting out these multi-team teasers. It's kind of cool, and I hope we can hit one of them. But we'll do pretty well. And you lose one game, you just back it up and play some more. So anyway, please come to the site, www.teaserking.com. Ask me questions, and I'm really dissecting the over-unders on the pros. Also looking into that. I think it really is helpful in college when you look at that. Right now my computer has stopped, so I have to keep talking until I can get it back. It's frozen. So I apologize for this. What I've been looking at also are the trends in the roles. So like play against Detroit as a home dog, play against Tennessee as a home dog, play against New Orleans as a road dog. So I have all those stats. If anybody wants to buy those, hit me up for it. I think it's called Trends on my Teaserking pay thing, so you can get the trends there, and I can email it to you. It's in an Excel spreadsheet. It's really handy because it kind of just shows the team personality and where they play well. And it's not my only method, but I do use it. Alright everybody, good luck, have a great weekend, and let's start hitting some multi-team teasers and parlays, and let's break the banks already. Alright everybody, have a great weekend, good luck.